As always, a huge thank you to everyone who supports the habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. These great people have seen the exclusive bonus autopsy of a Lana Del Rey song from 2013, so maybe consider joining them? Hey, do you think that Buckley realizes the irony of his own revisiting series, where he attempts to undermine nostalgia by reminding people of all the bad things from back when things were supposedly better, and in doing so, is himself trading on nostalgia for his own videos back when they were far, far more popular? Sure don't! Anyway, this year we go back 13 years to my worst songs of 2013 to see where these artists are now, what predictions I got right, and more importantly, which ones I got wrong that you can make fun of me for. Number 10 was Icona Pop featuring Charlie XCX, I Love It. This was the bizarre dance song about a woman who finds joy in destroying property after her boyfriend leaves her, demonstrating that he made the right choice. In the video, I wondered if Icona Pop would be able to maintain any level of popularity in the US in order to pay for their destructive behavior, or if their 15 minutes were already up. They would never have another song even reach number 100 on the Hot 100. Though, they did have 2 songs reach number 30 and number 34 on the dance charts in 2020. Great year for clubbing. But Charlie XCX would go on a real roller coaster from there. Massive successes with Iggy Azalea's Fancy and her own Boom Clap the year after this, followed by about a decade of irrelevance in the US until 2024, when all everyone could talk about was having a brat summer. She stayed relatively popular in the bizarro land of the UK that whole time, but we know popularity there doesn't count. They think soccer is fun to watch. But Icona Pop is still plugging away, no matter how futile or unlikely a career revival seems. Which, in 2026, your old pal Buckley can greatly sympathize with. Number 9 was Kesha featuring will.i.am, Crazy Kids.
We are the crazy people.
She sure is. I've kind of documented far too much of Kesha's career on this channel. Her lawsuit with alleged predator Dr. Luke, her own admission of predatory behavior on her tour bus, her weird tweets like it's still 2013 when it was still popular to post unhinged one-liners. Lately she's been tweeting things like, "Just because we kissed does not mean I'm giving you tour tickets." And, "I kind of want to know if I'm on Wiki Feet, but I'm a little scared to look." And I'll give her this. She doesn't seem to be suffering from the same blue dot fever as her other contemporaries. She's struggling to sell $35 tickets in a 10,000-seat venue in Arkansas, but she still hasn't canceled. Since I don't have much else to say about this song, can I just ask, am I crazy? Or does anyone else think WWE wrestler Saul Ruka looks kinda like Kesha? Maybe Saul could change her gimmick to being a drunk party girl covered in glitter. She kinda already wrestles like she's drunk, so it wouldn't be a huge change. Number 8 was Taylor Swift, 22. I talked about how Taylor was acting immature even for a 22-year-old. The song being about how she wants to gossip about her exes, play dress up, and fall in love with strangers. What's funny is that we've seen this type of behavior get much, much worse over the last few years with how childish 22-year-olds act. Fall in love with strangers, Gen Z is afraid to even talk to a stranger. And there's a whole subculture I'm going to tell you about one of these days called age regressors. Adults who act like toddlers. It's bizarre to say the least. Makes 2013 Taylor look like the most mature person you've ever met. I said that this behavior would be really creepy in her 30s, but she did finally become an adult who performed a song for Toy Story, the ultimate film franchise for people who also can't let go of their childhoods. But she is getting married this year to her football player boyfriend. She really didn't grow up, a perpetual teenager to the end. But when you become the world's richest female musician, you can do pretty much whatever the fuck you want. Number 7 was Cher Lloyd featuring T.I., I Wish. If you don't remember this one, I completely understand. This was the ripoff of Skilo's I Wish, in which a conventionally attractive woman complained about not being conventionally attractive, and how no one wanted to bang her. And then T.I. was like, "Man, I wish I could bang that conventionally attractive girl." Now that we're in the Ozempic era, maybe Cher Lloyd can feel good about herself, knowing that she's not the skinniest girl in pop. She said that she wished she had a butt and a rack. Next to 2026 Ariana Grande, she looks like Megan Thee Stallion. Cher had one more hit in 2014 with Demi Lovato, which we'll talk about next year maybe. But that'd be about it for her career in America. Although strangely, she had some hits in the later half of the 2010s and even into 2020 in Scotland. All that curly hair, they might have just mistook her for a sheep. A sexy, sexy sheep, eh? Number 6 was a three-way tie between Sage the Gemini, Gas Pedal, Migos, Versace, and J-WAP. I was critiquing songs where the entire hook was just one word or phrase repeated over and over, which was insanely popular at the time. This type of rap had largely fallen off the charts, with rap in a general struggle over the last few years, but as I write this, there's a song charting at number 47 by a woman named Young Miami called Spend Dat. The entire hook is her repeating, "Spend that shit." So, maybe it's making a comeback? Perhaps I'll torture with that one in about 6 months from now. Of the 3 artists I talked about, I made the prediction about the wrong one. I said we'd never need to hear about Migos again. But obviously, they were more popular out of these 3. Very dominant in the second half of the 2010s. Although, in 2026, of the 3 members of Migos, one is dead, one had to work with Lana Del Rey, and one was married to Cardi B. Of those 3 choices, I honestly don't know which fate I'd choose. Number 5 was Drake, Started from the Bottom. Perhaps the most remembered moment from this video, at least for me, rewatching up to this point, was quite a lot of, yeah, I vaguely remember this song. Oh, no, I don't remember saying will.i.am sounded like he had Down syndrome, and that not being the worst thing I said in this one. But I clearly remember my rebuttal that Drake never started from the bottom. Although I wish I could forget that it ends up with me rapping. I guess started from the middle, caught a few lucky breaks along the way, and now I'm here. Just doesn't have much flow to it though. Drake, of course, is now the single most popular rapper in North America, even after Kendrick called him a pedo in one of the most popular songs of 2024. Despite all that success, or maybe because of it, he's now started selling any old crap with his name or face on it, including a $90 body pillow, perfect for underage girls to get a little practice snuggling with Drake, and this $45 poop scooper, which you could also use to pick up those 3 albums he released this year, because they were dog shit. Number 4 was Karmin, Acapella. Looking back, I think I should have put this song even higher on the list, just for that one moment. Let's see if we can get away with this clip. Yeah, we'll just cut that right there. I won't torture you any further. My other beef with this song was that, despite the title being a metaphor for her wanting to go solo, to be single after a series of bad dates, the actual song was not a cappella. It very much contained, well, let's not say instruments, but certainly noises made by something other than a human. In all reality, it's probably the worst song musically and lyrically on this list. But I always felt that the greater impact, and funnier play, was to put a much bigger name at number 1. So, that's why this song only ended up at number 4. Since then, Amy from the duo rebranded as Queen Herbie, with a V replacing the U, and released 17 EPs and 41 singles in 9 years. Not a single one of them charting. It's the worst white girl rap you've ever heard. I don't want to get a copyright claim over it, but go listen to Sugar Daddy and let me know how many seconds you make it before you turn it off. If you make it the whole 3 minutes 23 seconds, you're a braver man than I. Number 3 was Major Lazer and Friends, Bubble Butt. One thing that people ask me all the time is, Buckley, has there ever been a song on a worst songs list that you actually like now? And the answer is, of course, still no. What, you thought I was going to say I like Bubble Butt now? Come on. But listening to it back 13 years later, I can at least see the funny side of it. Hearing it again did make me laugh in a way that was like, okay, now I'm 13 years separated from it and not having to play it every single night for 3 months straight at my old job. It's kind of funny. Also, how did I not mention that Bruno Mars was the guy saying Bubble Butt? He's doing just fine these days, even if he just keeps basically making these same songs over and over. If it ain't broke, don't go broke trying to fix it. Major Lazer as a group is still plugging along, but Diplo on his own just produced like half of BTS's new album, which I think basically means that Bubble Butt is now technically a K-pop song. A BTS cover of this song in which Rap Monster says the line, "I ate the pussy fast, I'm about to start burping," would make me take it off the list. Number 2 was Trinidad James, All Gold Everything. Who would have thought that this was the song that would have stories? First off, the "Don't Believe Me Just Watch" part, minus the N-words, was interpolated by Bruno Mars on Uptown Funk, one of the biggest songs of the 2010s, making Trinidad James actually able to afford something gold. Because before that, he was actually fucking broke. Trinidad James became the industry poster child for bad label deals, getting a $2 million advance, blowing it all, and then when his album, actually a mixtape, didn't make that advance back, because of course it didn't, he technically owed all that money back to the label. What happened in reality is he got dropped from Def Jam and receives absolutely no royalties from the 100 million plays this song has received between YouTube and Spotify. But because he was the sole credited songwriter, when Bruno Mars used that line in Uptown Funk, Mr. James now gets royalties from the 8.4 billion plays that song has. Real rags to riches story. Don't piss that money away though, Trinidad. The music industry rarely gives third chances. Not unless you can convince Sabrina Carpenter to sing "Pop to Molly, I'm Sweatin'." And the worst song of 2013 was Miley Cyrus, "We Can't Stop." 2013 was a very different time in music. Back then, I considered this a slow song. And compared to the other 11 songs that I talked about in this video, it is. But in the 2020s, "We Can't Stop" would be a fucking club banger in comparison to some of the shit we've got now. Benson Boone and Chappell Roan have put out hits that make this song feel like it's practically hyperpop. But that was the era of recession pop. Far more upbeat, danceable songs to make people forget how shitty things were. Sure, you were losing your home and couldn't find work, but at least you could dance to a song about date rape. And you wonder why I love making fun of nostalgia so much. Anyway, you know what she really can't stop doing though? Returning to Hannah Montana. The thing she seemed so desperate to get away from 13 or 14 years ago. She released a song this year called "Younger You" for the 20th anniversary of her old Disney show. I'm sure she was thrilled to see it peaked at number 69. But maybe it's fine to find comfort in metaphorically putting the blonde wig back on once in a while. Just don't let it consume you entirely. In the immortal words of Miss Cyrus, we can't stop, and we won't stop. We won't stop moving forward. We can forget about this video now. Especially the last minute and a half. We could just forget it ever happened. Now, looking forward, we are halfway to the 10 worst songs of 2026. And let me tell you, I already have like 12 nominees. It has been a spectacularly bad year, and I'm sure it can only get worse. Anyway, a massive shout out to the Founders Club. These legends have been supporting the habit since the first half of 2020. A magical time that absolutely no one wants to forget. Thanks for continuing to watch your favorite angry Canadian.